If I were to fight Jake Paul, I would take it completely seriously like a real fight, and I'd whoop his ass, I'd beat him.
I don't think he ever gets into the ring and risks his alpha male appearance.
Jake Paul is finally taking on Andrew Tate in the ring. Yep, you heard that right. It's happening, and it's already shaping up to be the internet's next big obsession. For a while, Jake's been avoiding Tate like the plague, clearly not eager to face any real, unscripted punches. But now, it looks like the promise of a huge payday has convinced him to step up. Surprising, right?
After we seen them square off for the first time, the internet blew up. Everyone was talking about this fight. But why? So we've got Andrew Tate, who's the most spoke about man in the world right now. He is absolutely everywhere. Then we've got this guy, Jake Paul, who is making massive moves in the boxing scene. And he is one of the most famous people in the world right now as well.
Meanwhile, Tate's been talking this up as a real boxing match, and fans are eager to see if Jake will finally take on a true fighter. Is this Jake's chance to redeem himself, or will it be the wake-up call he didn't see coming? Stay tuned, because this is going to be one crazy ride.
Where Andrew Tate steps in with that long lead hook, and it's a good shot. There it's again, that long lead hook. He hurts the guy. Oh, blasts him to the body.
Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed king of masculinity, has officially challenged Jake Paul, the YouTube star turned boxing wildcard. On November 17, 2024, during a live stream, Tate didn't just call Jake out, he roasted him in front of the world. Tate made it clear that Jake has never been in a fight that wasn't perfectly managed, but this time, it would be different. With his usual swagger, Tate boldly declared that he's ready to teach Jake a lesson, showing off the confidence of someone who's made a career out of putting others down.
I actually quite like Jake, and I think he trains really hard. Yeah. And I think he's dedicated to the sport, and he's seriously actually a boxer. I don't think he's a YouTuber, I think he's a boxer.
Jake Paul didn't waste any time accepting the challenge. Less than 24 hours later, he fired back with a response full of classic Jake Paul energy. He claimed Tate couldn't handle the fight and was only in it for the money. The irony? A YouTuber turned boxer accusing someone else of chasing cash. This isn't just another fight. It's a battle of egos, brands, and bank accounts. It's the ultimate showdown between two guys who think they're unstoppable. For better or worse, the world can't look away. Let's take a closer look at what makes this the biggest event of 2025.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Fucking Google it if you want to know more. Any day, anytime.
Let's set the record straight. Both Andrew Tate and Jake Paul are already rolling in cash. Jake, the self-proclaimed problem child, has an estimated net worth of $300 million. His fortune comes from his YouTube antics, social media empire, and, of course, his highly profitable, though highly criticized, boxing career. As for Andrew Tate, he's got around $400 million in the bank, thanks to his kickboxing career, online hustling programs, and, let's not forget, endless controversy. The guy has practically turned being unlikable into a business.
Hogan's got to see it.
Andrew Tate will not fight Jake, and if he does, it'd be a money play. He's going to get his ass kicked.
So much money.
He's going to get his ass kicked, and the top G facade will finally be...
When Jake accused Tate of fighting for money, Tate quickly hit back, saying, "I don't fight for money. This is personal." Sure, Andrew, we totally believe you. It's definitely not about the $100 million in projected pay-per-view revenue or the chance to sell even more overpriced self-help courses to your fans. Definitely not. On paper, Tate has the advantage. With a professional kickboxing record of 76 wins and just 9 losses, he's not all talk. He's been in the trenches, known for his knockout power and psychological mind games. Tate has spent years intimidating opponents even before they step into the ring. If combat sports were a chess match, Tate would be the guy flipping the board while lecturing you on how inferior you are.
Stop. Work.
Come on, fight.
Hey. Come on, 20 seconds to work, Husky. Let's go. Come on, work. Work. Good. Work. 10 seconds. Work.
Jake Paul, on the other hand, is undefeated in his celebrity boxing career with 8 wins and 0 losses. Impressive, right? Well, only if you ignore the fact that most of his opponents have been retired athletes, former MMA fighters, or other internet personalities who were probably more interested in the paycheck than the glory. Critics often call Jake a fake fighter, and this match could be his chance to prove them wrong, or not. If he loses, let's just say Twitter will have a field day, of course. No fight is complete without some pre-match trash talk, and Tate has already started throwing verbal punches. He called Jake a boy pretending to be a fighter, which, let's be honest, is the kind of line Tate probably practices in front of a mirror. Jake, never one to back down from a verbal battle, fired back with, "Tate is all talk. I'll shut him down in the ring."
All you've got left is somebody like me. He'd mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, "Oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself. He's after a payday." Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances.
This back and forth isn't just for entertainment. It's part of the strategy. Andrew Tate is a master at psychological warfare, using every opportunity to get inside his opponent's head. Jake Paul, on the other hand, thrives on being underestimated. He's built his boxing career on proving people wrong, so don't count him out just yet. Both fighters are taking their training seriously. Tate has reportedly stepped up his preparation with elite boxing coaches, working on converting his kickboxing skills into a pure boxing style. This is a big shift for someone used to relying on kicks, knees, and elbows. But if there's one thing Tate loves more than his Bugatti collection, it's proving people wrong. Jake Paul, meanwhile, is sticking with his trusted team, led by coach BJ Flores. Insiders say Jake is focusing heavily on endurance drills to prepare for Tate's knockout power. While Jake might not be the most experienced fighter, he's a workhorse in training, and that's earned him some respect, even from his harshest critics. For Jake, this fight is about respect. Despite his success, he's still seen by many as a YouTuber who got lucky. Beating Tate would be his ultimate told you so moment, a chance to silence the doubters for good. But if he loses, a loss to Tate would be a PR disaster. His entire brand is built on being the underdog who always comes out on top. Losing would shatter that image, and the memes would be brutal for Tate. This fight is about legacy. He's made it clear that he sees celebrity boxing as a joke, and he's determined to bring honor back to the sport. A win would solidify him as a versatile fighter who can dominate in multiple areas. But let's be real, Tate has just as much to lose as Jake. If he loses to a guy who started his career filming prank videos, his credibility and massive ego will take a major hit.
Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real fucking world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real fucking world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a fucking fraction of the money you have because you managed to become a fucking clown.
As expected, the internet has exploded with reactions to this fight. A recent Twitter poll showed 65% of fans are backing Andrew Tate, while 35% are supporting Jake Paul. TikTok is full of memes, fight predictions, and clips of both men training. Hashtags like #TatePaul2025 and #RealBoxingReturns have racked up over 500 million views, proving once again that the internet loves a good drama. Even celebrities are getting in on the action. Logan Paul, Jake's older brother, publicly doubted Tate's chances, saying Tate is biting off more than he can chew by taking on Jake. UFC legend Conor McGregor also weighed in, tweeting that the fight will be a circus, but he'll still watch. He added, "Boxing needs entertainment like this, and honestly, he's not wrong."
The best boxer on the planet is
Jake Paul.
Why?
He's doing it.
Even if Mike Tyson says, "Let's do this," are you down?
100%.
I'm gonna make Mike my girlfriend.
Would you fight Mike Tyson? Again, no, because he's now old, and I would be an absolutely tragic shame to knock out an old version of his prime self. It doesn't feel fair. Prime Tyson would have ripped me apart in a boxing match, so beating him fast in prime was honorable, and I feel dirty for doing that. So there's no amount of money on the planet that can do this fight.
This fight isn't just about Andrew Tate and Jake Paul, it's about what their clash represents. Traditional boxing purists have been rolling their eyes at celebrity matches for years, dismissing them as cash grabs with zero credibility, but fights like this one are forcing people to pay attention. Like it or not, celebrity boxing is here to stay, and it's bringing millions of new fans to the sport. A win for Jake Paul could legitimize the celebrity boxing scene, opening the door for more high-profile crossover fights. A win for Andrew Tate, on the other hand, could serve as a rallying cry for traditional fighters fed up with influencers invading their turf. Either way, this fight is bigger than the two men involved. It's a cultural moment. The financial stakes are astronomical. Early projections suggest the fight could generate over $100 million in pay-per-view revenue, putting it on par with legendary bouts like Mayweather vs. Pacquiao, with an expected global audience of over 50 million viewers. This fight has the potential to be one of the most watched events in boxing history. Love them or hate them, Andrew Tate and Jake Paul know how to draw a crowd.
But obviously, Andrew Tate can fight. He is a hard man. He's in great shape, and he's just got that stubbornness about him where I think he's a right hard.
Although it's not officially confirmed, insiders are buzzing about a possible March 2025 date for the fight, with T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas as the likely venue. And really, where else would this spectacle take place? Vegas is the perfect setting for a matchup this big. Bright lights, huge personalities, and even bigger paychecks. It's a marketing dream. So, Who has the edge? Andrew Tate's experience, knockout power, and psychological tactics make him a tough opponent. But Jake Paul's youth, stamina, and relentless work ethic shouldn't be overlooked. If the fight goes the distance, Jake could have the upper hand, as his training has focused on endurance and has shown he can outlast opponents. However, if Tate lands one of his signature power shots early, it could be over for Jake. It's truly anyone's game.
I actually quite like Jake, and I think he trains really hard.
Yeah.
And I think he's dedicated to the sport, and he's seriously actually a boxer. I don't think he's a YouTuber, I think he's a boxer.
Love them or hate them, Andrew Tate and Jake Paul have definitely captured the world's attention. This fight isn't just about boxing, it's a cultural moment. It's about money, pride, and proving who's the true alpha. One thing's for sure, when these two step into the ring, the world will be watching. So, who are you betting on? Tate's calculated power, or Jake's unyielding drive? Either way, get ready for an unforgettable show. March 2025 can't come soon enough.